Well, excellent. Well, it's great to meet you. Thank you so much for taking a minute out today. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
So, before we get into your good work, I want to know this. I always start with this question. 5 years ago, this pandemic was changing our lives. It still has. How did you get through that coronavirus era, and how has it affected the way that you do things today?
Hmm. Wow, that's a deep question,
Yeah.
and probably one of the hardest times for, I would say, probably anyone in the US, well, all around the world. So for me, it was actually doubly trying because I was dealing with a personal issue at the time as well. One of the things I thrive on is resilience. I love an obstacle. I love adversity because I love overcoming. So for me, it was just another thing to get through. And obviously, being in the house was a challenge because before that I used to be very outgoing and always here or there. So I guess I just kind of got through it.
Yeah. That's the only we didn't have any option. That's what I kept thinking the whole time. This whole thing has a monopoly on us. We either do it right or, we don't. And I yeah, it was interesting. So let me ask you this. As a chief problem solver and a founder, I want to know this. I'm going to put you in front of a bunch of 12-year-olds at career day. You're in a school and one of the kids wants to know what you do for a living. How do you explain what you do?
So let me correct you real quick. And maybe I should have mentioned this initially. I am the co-founder filling in for
Okay.
RN today.
Okay, I got you. Okay. All right. Good deal. So, how would you explain what you do?
So I am co-founder and head of community and moderation. So obviously I'm a part of the foundational element of the startup. So putting in my own ideas about what I think bio needs for us to be seen. I also have a disability, physical disability myself. So factoring in how the disabled community will be positively affected by the platform because a lot of social media platforms look past not only Black creators but disabled creators as well. So kind of just putting in my ideas, thinking about how this is going to benefit all communities, and then as head of community and moderation, pretty much the same thing, and just making sure that everybody has a good time while they're here.
So, my son's on the spectrum. I'm curious, when you talk about disability, are you talking about physical or are you talking about cognitive? Who would be kind of an audience that would benefit?
So because this is a social media platform, I mean, physical might not play as much of a role, but it will. So thinking of spotlighting and giving more attention to those communities that are not seen, the disabled community, the misinformation surrounding disabilities and people's assumptions that if you're disabled, you can't function or do anything. So a lot of it will just be spreading that awareness and then also thinking about how the app could better suit people that have visual or auditory disabilities.
So, the app, is it out on all of the stores?
The app is currently being built right now, so we're
Okay.
definitely putting these things in with intention, but it is coming soon.
And if anybody wanted to get out and take a look at what you're doing and how it's being developed, where can they go and do that now?
So now we encourage everybody to visit our website, www.itsbio.com, and join our Discord. That's the best place to interact with us, ask questions, get to know the team, and stay tuned for updates when the app releases.
So, before we get away from childhood and grade school, what did you want to be when you grew up? What was your dream job?
I personally wanted to be a motivational speaker, and I guess I'm somewhat doing that now.
So, what were the foundational elements? Did you grow up in Michigan?
I actually grew up in California, and to just give a little more background on my disability, I was actually shot at the age of 4, and that changed the rest of my life. I ended up moving, getting adopted, and then my entire life changed from there.
So, what were some foundational elements of growing up that affected the way that you work today, that affected your philosophy and what your mission is? What were those early seeds that were planted that have become who you are?
I spoke earlier about resilience. taking every challenge as it comes, not backing down. A lot of people get overwhelmed with small things. I have a lot of patience, and that was built because I had to learn how to do everything all over again, getting dressed, using the bathroom, and then the way I fit into society and how I made friends or didn't make friends. Just I go back to the word resilience.
So, who's been kind of your hero? Who's been an inspirational force that's allowed you to find this resilience and find this strength?
Well, I would have to start with my grandparents who believed in me, instilled all of the values and uh, um, know-how that I have, and then my brother who has been there for me throughout everything. And then, of
So,
course, today I would say one of the biggest influential factors in my life would be RM, our founder and CEO, just because I built a few companies with her already. So I'm just excited to see where we go from here.
so, if you could meet anybody right now on the planet, whether it's in the tech realm, somebody that's a motivational speaker, entrepreneurial, who would you love to meet that might help you on your journey?
Viola Davis, that is my favorite actress. She's super talented and definitely inspirational to me. I look up to her and I would love to meet her one day.
So, what is the motivation for you every day to wake up to do this work, to do this work at a high level, and to also take care of your own soul? What is that for you?
As a Black woman, I'm tired of the way we're treated in in America, in the world. We are the smartest. Look at the numbers, and we do not get the credit we deserve. So every day I wake up, I'm doing this for my people. I'm also doing this again for the disabled community. I want to see change. People talk about it all the time, but rarely do they do anything about it. So to be even have the opportunity to do this, it's a pleasure to wake up to build this company.
So that's the other part of this too. When you talk about what's going on in America, there's so many things right now since the beginning of this year that have made people frightened and that aren't right. Things are not okay. How do you remain hopeful? How do you remain at this place every day where you want to continue to do the change in this environment that we live in America right now?
If you stop fighting, your opponent wins. So we continue no matter what.
So, um, if you were to run into a young version of you, say a 13, 14, 15-year-old version of you, and you had a book in your hands and it was your life that you've lived so far up to this point, and you handed it over and said, "This is how your life's turned out so far." Would that version of you believe it?
No, because 13-year-old me didn't want to be here.
What advice would you give that young version of you?
Keep fighting because you haven't seen anything yet. My grandpa would always tell me, just keep on living. You haven't seen anything yet. So that could be good, that could be bad, but life is worth living.
So, the one thing about being an entrepreneur, about being a change maker is there's a level of risk that goes into everything that you do. What is the biggest risk that you've taken professionally up to this point?
Mm. Speaking up, you automatically become a target. So I would say that's probably the biggest risk.
So, of everything that you've accomplished up to this point in your life, everything you've overcome and become, what are you the proudest of?
The proudest of,
Yeah.
yeah, again, the fact that I'm still going, the fact that Byio is a company that we're going to change how society interacts with the Black community and beyond. Um, I'm just proud to be able to make history and change things.
So I'm curious, sustaining a wound through a gunshot, where are you at with gun laws and with the way that we approach things and how it's just gotten completely out of hand in this country with schools and otherwise?
Personally, I've thought about this long and hard. I don't own one myself. I've thought about, is it something I should get? I personally don't care if people own them. because it's not the guns that do anything to people, it's the people that have them. So I think that the system should be changed. Mental health should be highly evaluated. Maybe one evaluation isn't enough, and you should only have a gun if you like personally if you need to have one. Maybe if you feel like you need it for your safety, that's enough. If you need it because you're a hunter, that's enough. But do you have a need for this, or is this just something you're carrying around aimlessly? Or do you have bad intentions with it? So I think it just starts with the mental health of the person who has it.
So everyone has a perception of you, family, friends, coworkers, everyone that is going to be a client that is a client, but you run the show. What's your perception of you? Who do you think you are?
Hmm. I'm very opinionated. I'm inclusive. I'm thoughtful and sensitive.
So where do you want to see this platform? Where do you want to see your company go? Let's say we talk 10 years from now. Where do you want to see the growth? Where do you want to see it evolve to?
Oh, 10 years from now, we're definitely going to have a banging version of our app out there. We're already going to be across the globe in multiple countries. We're already going to be making a difference. We're going to be combating racism, sexism, ableism, and the world is going to be a better place in 10 years.
So when is the launch date? Where can people get the app? How can they get involved? I will put the website and the link, but just kind of as a forecast for the future, where's this going?
So we don't have a launch date yet. Again, the best way to stay updated is to join our Discord through our website and lock in. Absolutely lock in. Locking in just means that you support the mission that the Black community deserves to get the recognition, acknowledgement, and same credit that anyone else does online. Again, I want to be clear, Byio stands for By Invite Only. It's the first social media platform founded and owned by Black women, also AI forward, that gives a voice to the Black community and beyond. So we're not just for Black people. I know I talk about it a lot because we deserve to be heard, but it is for everyone. So if you agree that, hey, you know what, things that are going on right now on social media or in real life need to change, now is the time to lock in.
Okay. I will put all of this in the show notes. What a joy. Thank you so much. Thank you for what you're doing, your mission, and best of luck with it.
Yeah, thank you so much.